Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. My guest is Cato Hanlon, educational psychologist, and we're looking at the emotional and spiritual side of us. You're talking about mindful and thinking.
Yeah.
The processes.
Mindfulness is for a different purpose.
Yeah.
I think it does help you become a better thinker, all right, but it certainly is, I think it's more to do with the emotional brain and the spiritual even side. I think there is a spiritual side of us.
Yeah.
That is there and seeks something. Mm-hmm. If it isn't in regular religion or whatever, we need it in some way in our lives. It's part of our mind, of our psyche, of our makeup.
Yes.
It just is. Yeah. So just a moment in the school setting, if we're talking about children at any age or students, at some point in the day, and people say, stop. Let us just sort of, and your body and your mind sort of coming to get a moment of reflection. Otherwise, you're totally right. I think they become overwhelmed, burdened down, not getting anything that they're supposed to get, feeling frustrated, and no wonder they become depressed. And you build that up and allow social media to add to your worries, you are definitely in trouble.
And one of the things I found quite interesting after suffering a bout of anxiety was that I actually have a passion for music as well.
Yeah.
So I actually took up playing the violin.
Yeah.
And I began to find that my mind would get in the way of the fingers trying to do the practical things. And it was almost as though there came a point where I had to say to myself, stop thinking. Just
do it.
Chill out and allow it to happen.
Yeah. It's like, that's letting the brain go ballistic, as it's called.
Yeah.
You just let it go. And the whole, that side of us, that the music, the art, the drama, the creative things, the crafts even, should be given their way out, because they are so good for us. You may not like to do all of them. You may not be good at any of them. But some children are really good at some of those, including also the physical ones like PE, those sorts of ones where they are really good at it. And that's creative. Yeah. And that is, again, it's unbelievable to find that schools will have to cut back in some of those areas.
Yes.
We will have to cut back in music and drama and art. What?
And yet drama, even though you may not go off to become an actor, it could give you the confidence to deal with people in sales or any kind of job or interaction with people.
It's one of the best things ever. I love it. I love drama, love the theatre and all that sort of thing. But I also know how really, really good it is for us to just go ballistic again. You're letting the brain go, like a runner who's on the blocks and he has to go, and his brain now must go ballistic. So I'm going. And I don't think I just let my brain take me forward. You need to go do that in so many other areas. So good for you, like you said with the fiddle. Yeah. And the art, creating something, making something. Just do it. Let's see what it looks like. Don't be, constrained, because it is so good for you, for your brain, your mind.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I find that's fascinating is my mind is just curious. I'm kind of the best way to stop worrying is kind of go, oh, how do you do that? Ooh.
Yeah, yes.
And you kind of, that's interesting. And it may seem sometimes that I'm jumping from one thing to another, but one thing kind of connects me to another, and I experiment with that. Like, for example, the violin. I struggle to play the guitar. Yeah. And all of a sudden, playing the violin, suddenly something opened up on the guitar. I went, oh, hang on, I'm getting patterns. I'm understanding the mathematical process. Not overthinking it. It was just I began to realize there's certain ways of doing stuff. Yeah. And I feel my confidence. Stepping outside your comfort zones becomes important.
It's wonderful.
I couldn't play in front of anybody a year ago. Yeah. And now every Sunday I'm playing in front of a congregation. Wonderful. Yeah. And that was me trying to step out. And I think that's something it's trying to, again, back to the children, is trying to nurture them to step out and go beyond.
What I find is we give them too many things to do that they can do.
Yes.
And we like to do that because the children will challenge you and say, I can't do that. No, you can't. I'm not doing that. I can't do that. But that's our job. They're not coming into the learning environment to do things they can do.
Yeah.
I remember somebody saying that. It just was again another one of those epiphanies. You know, children come to school to do things they cannot do.
Yeah.
And we should be putting that in front of them every day. I must say, I find children actually do respond to that.
Oh, they do.
Because if you mediate it right, as I say again the word, you are providing confidence to them. Yeah, I know you can't do it, but you know what? You will be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your thing about that, I don't know everything. That's the right thing too. Yeah. We're learning in a way together. We're learning together. We'll find new things, you know, from the poem, from the story, from the literature, from the book, from whatever it is. We'll find it together.
And
they
again,
need to do more challenging things in school.
Yes.
Not the same things they can already do.
I mean, I've had classes that have been the same subject, the same syllabus, but the dynamics of each class is totally different because you've got a different culture in each of those. Each one of them. And they express things in a different way.
The children are wonderful. It's a treasure. It's an absolute pleasure to. Yeah. It's a privilege to, you know, to be allowed to go in and teach children. I just love children because they teach you an awful. They're the ones that teach you. They teach you a lot. And then when you see a child suddenly open up the eyes and the mouth opens and he suddenly goes, I get that now. That is worth all the salary you're going to be paying. Yeah. And they've achieved it and they present it proudly and they know they've done it. They know they've done a hard thing. They can do it now. That's a privilege as a teacher.
I've had adults do the same thing. Yeah. I've had adults complain that I wasn't teaching them properly.
Right.
And all of a sudden at the end of the year they went, oh, now I understand why you were doing that. Now it all makes sense. And you're kind of going, yeah, you know, but there's a purpose behind it.
There was, of course. It's a very important job, and I think we should value it in our communities and societies as a teacher. It lost a bit of an edge, you know. In some communities, it's highly respected because people know what your role is in there, and you're working with their children. It's also, you know, when you had your first children, I have 2 children. When I first had my children, I suddenly realised, wow, I am working with other people's children. And people are working with my children. This is a big, big responsibility. It's when you get your own, isn't it? You suddenly
I remember when we've got 2 boys, when they were 15, 16, and I was starting to teach at that age, the same age group. I'd be going to them and saying, lads, I've got to do this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And they would kind of go, well, Dad, maybe not that bit, but have a go at that bit. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the lads would come in, hey, some of our mates are coming in saying, you're great crack. You're Dad, you can't be great crack, you know. And I kind of go, no, but I'm listening to what you guys are telling me. You're teaching me how to teach.
Right.
You know, I know my subject, but it's you guys that need to...
Your audience.
Absolutely.
They're all different. 16-year-old, very different from 6.
And I think now my lads are grown up, sometimes you kind of go, oh, can't quite relate to the current ones because they're about 15 years younger than my guys now. So, look, it's been a really enjoyable conversation. Normally my last question to my guests is there anything you didn't get a chance to say that you'd like to say?
Well, I'm sure there are lots of other things I could say. If I sat here all day, we could probably keep talking. But I just want to say, you know what, this was a real treat to just talk about myself and a real privilege, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. You know, so I do like talking to people, but I never get a chance to do it in this sort of context, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.